I just love a dog that really gets shit done and is just proficient at what it does. Now, what I hate are, you could probably have to beep this, but the dumb that get these dogs and have no idea what they're doing with them. Okay, so first off, we need to keep in mind that this video is for people that do stuff with their dogs and are avid at doing stuff with their dogs. If that is not you, I am about to offend you, right? And if you are not offended, I feel really bad because I haven't done my job well enough. And I apologize to those of you that are out doing shit with your dog and you and the dog are doing cool stuff. I apologize to you people that have not offended the rest of them well enough. So who am I and what am I known for? I'm Matt Akenhead, and I don't know that I'm known for anything all that exciting. So recently the Jaded Dog Trainer, which has been my, originally I was thinking it might have been an alter ego, but it may actually be who I am. I'm not positive. That's what they've been telling me at work anyway, that may actually be my real personality. I will say, if you have to be out in a field treating sheep, like you're catching them or you're working at a pen and you've got a ram in there and the ram is really grumpy, literally all you have to do is turn the cattle dog and say, hey, watch him. And like she will literally, I don't know what happens in her brain, the magic that is in there. She will turn around, she will find the one you're talking about. And if he takes a step forward, she is on him. She's gonna, I mean, like Velcro, she's gonna stick to him. That poor ram she will wear him. And as soon as you say it's enough, bam, she stops and lets go, comes back and lays down and waits again. Like, it's crazy. Genetically gifted. And that's honestly what got me into all of this, right? As I've hunted coon dogs and I've raced sled dogs and I've worked with, you know, sport dogs and dogs that track and dogs that work sheep and stuff like that. I suddenly realized that there are so many of them that are on a mission from God. And when they're blessed with this internal power to do something just without help. I mean, a little guidance I'll give you, right? Like the cattle dog needs to be told not to bite the neighbor. Okay, so you have to keep her, you have to manage her. But you're out working cows or you're working a ram who's gonna like mash you when your back is turned, and you can just drop the cattle dog to watch him and you don't have to think again, and she does almost all of that on her own. It's just magic. It's just brilliance. And I love a dog that's on a mission from God, and I don't care what the breed is. I just love a dog that really gets shit done and is just proficient at what it does. Now, what I hate are, you could probably have to beep this, but the dumb that get these dogs and have no idea what they're doing with them, right? They get these dogs on a mission from God to finally have something that's good at what it does. 200 years of genetic selective breeding. We have made this thing awesome. And then we're mad at it because it's awesome at it. It's like you get a dachshund that is designed to hunt badgers and you're mad because he tears up the boxes. Oh my God, it stuff just makes no sense to me. You should appreciate him because he tears up boxes, because at least he's still a dachshund, right? I mean, it's like a border collie that wants to herd stuff. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, he's biting the kids. No, he's not. He's hurting the kids and he's brilliant for it. Stop letting your kids run around, or put your border collie up or something, manage the two of them, because you've got something that's gifted and you're just ruining it. Okay. So what got me interested in dog training? So Dad always had kind of German Shepherds when I was really young, and then I got a Sheltie, and I guess there was just, you weren't allowed to have anything ill-mannered in my house, whether that was kids or otherwise. So my dad, being the wise person that he is, drug me out to obedience school. You know, took AKC, went to an AKC club. So how did I get into dog training? Well, that would be bad luck probably, but I started off, I put a CD, which is an AKC obedience title, on a dog in like 1980. So I don't know, what's that make that? 41 years of some form of competing with a dog, I guess. Started racing sled dogs, used to hunt coon dogs, raced sled dogs for a couple years, mid-distance mostly, sort of 40 to 180 miles, and then started doing more Schutzen. I don't know what they call it now because its name has changed like 13 times, IPO, something else. I don't know. It's got new names every week. Got into that, had a couple dogs that were pretty good, that were pretty successful, lucky enough to handle some pretty nice dogs and train some pretty nice dogs. And so I did that for a while. Used to do some work with problem-solving stuff on the law enforcement side, and I've got to visit a few military bases through some of that. for lack of a better word, it's been the wussification of the dog world, right? In general. And I don't mean that relative to people get all worked up about sport work and this and that. All like, I don't care about any of that. What I care about is the fact that, again, we have spent people for generations have spent all these years getting dogs to be helpful and to be assistants and to be partners with a person, right? And then what we've done is we've gone and screwed that all up by not using them, right? So it's like, you know, you've got an obese Labrador that eats constantly. Why does he eat constantly, and why is it so fat, right? Because it was designed to dive into freezing water and retrieve ducks all day. It's a swimming machine, right? It should be able to consume as many calories at once and be able to use all of them. But what have you done? You've trapped it in your house. You've fed it treats trying to think you're making it happy, like food is happiness for a dog. Just because we cannot control our own caloric intake, I cannot manage my own weight. I totally get that. I have no capability. Like I can't, but I can manage my dogs, right? I can keep him fat, keep him skinny, working, doing his thing. Like, but no, that's not what we do. We bring him in, we chubby him up a little bit, we get him to lay on the couch and not do anything, and then we're happy with him. And then we pretend like that's what a good dog is. That's not a good dog. That's not a good dog. It's a good dog goes out and does cool stuff. You, as a good owner, go out and do cool stuff. That's what. So again, and that's not. There's not a specific breed that's happened to. It's happened to all of them. It's happened to all of them. If anything that had a job when it was, you know, dogs were all born with a job. When somebody started going, man, I really need something that does this. It's, you know, I really need help with my sheep. Oh, I really need help with my cattle. Oh, I really need to keep the wolves away. Right? Oh, I really need to haul this. I need help hauling this stuff someplace. So we started picking dogs that were really good at pulling things, or really good at finding things, or really good at hunting things, or whatever it was. Like we did this, and we all these smart people back a bazillion years ago did this, and it was important to them because they survived by it. And now all of a sudden, what we've done is we've gone, I really want Fluffy to lay on the couch, and I wish he was a furry ottoman, and he didn't shit anywhere. And now, and you're like, what is wrong with you people? That's the changes I believe have happened. I don't know what the timeline is for that, whether that's 3 years, 5 years, or 100 years, I don't know. But for sure, that shit makes me crazy, because it's when you get one that's gifted at a job and you do a job with it, it is more fun than anything else. I mean, it's going back to, people, I hate beagles. I love hunting rabbits with beagles. I love running rabbits. It's more fun. I mean, you just have a ball. Same thing. You get a good coon dog at night and listening to, listen to him call. I couldn't have more fun. I don't need to kill the coon. I don't need to do anything. Letting that dog run and tree something and work is so much fun. I just enjoy that immensely. Watching Pyrenees chase stuff off is amazing to me. It's just amazing that they selectively understand. I wake up at night because this stuff comes out, the bad stuff comes out at night. I don't eat the cat. I don't eat the sheep. I don't eat the chickens that live here. I go after everything else. Every leaf, every critter, every stick, whatever it is, I go after it. How does that happen? It's magic. Okay, so we have screwed all that up, or we are progressively screwing all that up in all breeds. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about Ray Allen and working at Ray Allen and being part of Ray Allen is that, our world survives around the people that are out doing stuff with their dogs, and their dogs are making a living. The dogs actually have a purpose, have a job, because honestly, to not have a purpose and not have a job for a human or an animal is pointless. I mean, why do they lay around and not do anything? And they die young and they're all physically broken down because they didn't have anything good to do. And we're pretending like they've got this great life. Let me tell you, I don't want that. If you said you can't go to work, all you have to do is sit here and eat biscuits, and that's no good, right? No fun. Who wants to do that shit? Nobody wants to do that. And here we are pretending like that's what a good life for a dog is. Ask the Humane Society. Sorry. I mean, if you want a dog to do that, go rescue one. That's 100%. You should go rescue a pound hound that's not really good at anything, who's got, he's got a little bit of rat terrier over here, and he's got some beagle from over here, a little Labrador over there, and some kind of collie herding thing over here. He doesn't really know what he's supposed to do. He wakes up and he's like, I should herd, I should catch something, I should chase something. I don't really know. I'm going to sit here. Go get that dog. That dog needs a home too, right? You should go get him and love him and turn him into your fat couch potato. But if you get something that has a job and does something cool, go out and do it. Are there breeds that are actually good at not doing anything? right? That's the question. Are the breeds that are not good at doing stuff? So honestly, yeah. So if you actually go way, way back, right? Like there are a lot of breeds that were like foot warmers in the castle, right? There were, so again, we've genetically selected dogs to do things. Now, if you look at the breeds that have been sort of, or their job has been depleted a long time ago, and you start looking for what they've been bred for, a lot of those end up making good pets. And working dogs make great pets. You just have to do stuff. You just have to give them something to do. It's like, you know, your box killing dachshund is probably a great barn hunt dog, or he's probably a great nose work dog, right? Like get him out and do something with him. Even if it doesn't, I want to say it matters to him, right? I mean, I'm not saying you need to go out and go to barn hunt competitions. I'm not saying you need to go out and go to nose work competitions. None of that matters. I mean, you know, get some vanilla extract, throw it on a towel and have the dog, teach the dog to find it. Give him something to do that he seems important, that you're interacting and you guys are a team and you're doing stuff, right? Taking how you have him carry a load. Let him carry a little bit of weight. He can carry his own water and his own food. He's going to live, right? Let him do some of that stuff. Let him participate in your life as a part of it, as opposed to the thing you're taking care of. It should be a symbiotic relationship, right? Like they're a little bit of a parasite because we have to feed them, right? Or else you get in trouble, so feed your dog. But I'm just, you know, but at the same time, he needs to be able to give something back to you, or she needs to be able to give something back to you, whatever. At least that's my opinion on it. Yeah. So the jaded part of the dog trainer, a lot of that comes from, so you know, I supported my family training dogs for a number of years, and you know, when you're doing that, you take work that, I don't want to say you shouldn't, but you take work that you don't love to do, but because you need it. You need to make a living. And so it's like, you know, you sort of take work where, again, this dog is really cool and he should really be cool and doing cool stuff, and he would be so much fun for somebody that would do something with him. But that's not really what's going on. What's really going on is we need him to stop pulling on the leash. We need him to stop running, whatever it is. There's all these kind of miscellaneous things that they want the dog to do. Well, if he was actually out working, you know, if you hunt with a beagle, beagles come back. They don't run away, right? Their nose turns on, they go hunt a little bit, they'll come back. As long as they're out and they have that piece satisfied. So it's like, if the obedience piece, the training piece, now that's important, right? It's all part of it. You got to train your dog, and you want to give him some guidelines and some rules to live by, just like people. They got to have a little bit of guidelines, some rules to live by. Give your dog some rules to live by, and then you take him out and you get him doing stuff. Most of the time, if his sort of genetic, what he's been born with to do is satisfied, he's so much easier to live with, right? So to make him not suck to live with. So anyway, it's like, so, you know, hearing the same questions over and over and over and having the same problems over and over and over. And the solution is typically very simple, right? To the problems over and over and over again. Everybody thinks they reinvented the wheel, and there's, ooh, the new guy, new trainer, new style, new smart thing, new clicker. I don't know, whatever it is. Always something new. Something new and cool comes out that's going to make Fluffy smart. The reality is you got to get out, get your equipment, get out and go do something with Fluffy. And normally chances are Fluffy's going to be fine. Establish a few rules and Fluffy's going to be good. But what happens is you get the same problems with the same dogs in the same kind of period every single time. And most of it's because they just don't do enough. Or they haven't established rules well enough. They haven't established their life rules versus their working rules well enough. And then it becomes a painful experience. And, you know, and my personality leads itself to just wanting to people, or make really snarky, shitty comments that you can't make. That while I get to talk about breeds and stuff like that, I'm allowed to make those really snarky, crappy comments, and only offend a portion of the population, as opposed to all of it at once, or the person who needs to pay you to make a living. Because I don't have that problem now. I don't have to be paid to make a living to make Fluffy better. So now I've got the liberty to say, you know, hey, your Great Pyrenees barks all night long because you own a Great Pyrenees and they bark all night long. That's what they do. It's their job. If you don't want them to do that, bring them in the house. But they really should be out protecting you from the evils of the squirrels and the raccoons and the whatever else is out there that would have hurt their flock had you, since you're now their flock and they're trying to protect you from the world, and you don't want them to. Go out, do something with your dog. Go to rayallen.com, get your equipment to go out and do something with your dog. That's really what you should do.